Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CSR Main. We've got more Zelda 2 Randomizer action. For those just tuning in, this is the rematch of the Zelda 2 Randomizer Standard Tournament 2024 here. We've got the 4-0 matchup of Swiss Round 5 between traiLZ and Chromataclysm. I'm Star, and joining me for this one's Aaron. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm excited. We got the matchup between T-Dog and the Mellow Cello. 4-0 versus 4-0. We have a two-time champion Chroma and it was the 2020 Max Rando champion traiLZ here. So these guys have probably raced, a few hundred times. This is going to be really exciting, although it also at the same time is something I've seen many times before.
It's, the two veterans of the community, both got a trophy or two under their belts. Should be interesting to see how they do with this one. For those who missed it, we just came off a very interesting race from the previous race stream. Won't spoil, but we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, definitely hoping for a good one here. Hopefully we get nothing that will confuse our runners tremendously. And if it does, hopefully it does it in relatively even parts.
Yep. Yeah. We'll be going here shortly. Thank you for the raids, DK9146, Notorious 306. You're just in time for this seed to start, because we are off.
And there we go. Chroma with his fighter sprite, traiLZ with, I believe, his Alucard from one of the Symphony games. It looks like P3 or 6 right off the bat. Chroma might grind this a little bit.
Yeah, as we find trophy key for traiLZ. Or Chroma's trying to grind, but keeps getting the 50-50 red jar instead of the iron knuckle. There we go.
He gets that double hit on that guy. Oh, 150, nice.
Oh, that is nice. What is that for traiLZ?
I believe that was the raft, if I remember right. I don't think it was the glove. Well, we'll see right there. Yes, it was the raft as Chroma picks up a canoe.
All right. For those who are confused, with custom sprites, custom character sprites sometimes comes custom item sprites. I mostly remember the Final Fantasy 1 sprites now. I do not remember this is my first time seeing this Alucard sprite, and I've never played a Castlevania game, so I know nothing about that. So we're gonna have fun. It looks like we have a vanilla-like map here today, kind of starting in, I believe, the northeast corner. Yeah,
this fairy drop's not super pleasant, not really any good enemies, and at the same time, it isn't the best place to go unless you have downstab, and then it usually can be a really good place to go.
Oh, that's a fun sighting of a bridge we can't get to over there. Actually, this might be I think this is more like a vanilla-like than a wacky river canyon, but, we're a little bit... Let's see what this cave has here, because this is vanilla-like, and that is an item cave up here, because, games, giving us a few options as to where to go. Chroma fighting GP, as well as
he took the pass through Propa there, and Grass Tile's the candle, which if you're gonna find it right away. That's when it's the most useful.
Absolutely. And sorry, here in the middle of the eastern side has Reflect in it. And that is a magic jar for traiLZ.
Yeah, that one's a little bit clearer. And traiLZ is racking up the experience here so far. I think there was some orange Dyras there were worth 100, and he fought at least 2 of them, picked up a couple of levels. Looks like he sees the bridge over here now too, which is to the east, I think. East Islands?
That looks like DM.
Okay, it could be DM.
That was a very quick glance. I think that was DM, and it is... they look like islands. Possibly a wacky river canyon, but they look like islands. Robert was the first... Yeah, okay. Cooper, Karingathy, and Chenet. Probably that's DM. We'll get a better look later, at least. The bridge was the only thing in the northwest, so we pretty much have to go south from start to get much of anywhere. That goes nowhere for Chroma, not surprised. Yeah, Reflect tends to be pretty expensive at Magic 1, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it really doesn't start to kick down until 4, so it's, but, I mean, you're not really going to use it at level 1 anyway, so it's not that big of a deal.
Yep. No, this is a very linear start. We have to take this bridge south of GB to go anywhere. Oh, or apparently not, because we've got probably a Dried or River Canyon East for trails.
And he just noped out of that sucker right away. So yeah, that must have been DM then for sure, because that is an obviously different biome.
Trails is still is back on the west and is going somewhere different to where Chroma's going.
Yeah, Chroma kind of went straight down. Trails kind of went down and right. So Chroma hasn't seen the whole top end either. He's probably going to push this until he dead ends and just up A like he just did right there.
Yep.
It's kind of funny how that up and around worked too. But we'll see. Chroma's probably going to just retrace what Trails has done, and Trails is going to retrace what Chroma has done. I have a feeling they'll meet somewhere similar.
Chroma is likely going to end up in the east when he gets there, as he gets that magic chair, given that Chroma's already explored the obviously accessible parts of the west, at least. We didn't really get to the far southern side, but Chroma did kind of end up getting dead-ended over on the west side of the map.
Yeah, it kind of looked like there wasn't a way through there. So whatever we haven't seen collectively at this point might just not exist without the boots or without a backdoor transport or something like that.
Yeah, I don't think we can get... Because, yeah, we've got the candle there for trails.
Oh, this cave on Chroma's side looks a lot like Hammer Cave. We'll see, but it stinks out.
Nope.
Nope.
It is a pass-through.
There must be another one somewhere nearby then, since there's one right on the opposite end of that thing there.
Mm-hmm. But we're just going to take a quick look. He's not going to really dig DM at this point. He just wants to see if there's a free Hammer Cave, which isn't a bad idea. I don't think there is one. All these caves looks like they match up. Yeah, and Chroma decides it's not worth it. But yeah, I think we're kind of... The way the southern side of the west routes, I think, is you go south from Star to GP, you go south to the bridge there, and then that just takes you to the western side of the map around the midwestern end. So I don't think we've seen the far south, and that's probably Boots, maybe Bagu locked. I don't quite know where the south side of Sari is at, but we're not getting there right now.
Yeah, we did see again P36 right over there. Chroma farming again. I think he's not trying to do it consistently, but he knows it's 115 experience and it would automatically get him a level using it. Kind of wants to do it. And oh yeah, 500 bag. That's beautiful.
That's always nice. Yeah, Chroma finding destroyed Canyon East. He's already explored what he can do, at least easily, on the west. So this makes perfect sense for him to go clear this out.
Yeah, it does seem to be an island DM peg leg.
That's a very pink P2. And Fairy and Naburu is a nice find here.
Yeah, Free Fairy is great. That lets you get in the palaces, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Chroma dive pretty quickly, especially if he clears out these sorts of things, because I think just with the way the West look, you're going to be expecting to find the boots at some point. Again, it could be another transport back to the West, but I think that's what you'd be looking for.
We haven't seen the other side of Saria, Cooper. It's somewhere to the east of Trails' current position. But yeah, you get pretty railroaded. Confirmed. The bridge south of GP just kind of goes nowhere. I thought GP was further east than this, but evidently my sense of direction is garbage as usual, so no. Yeah, we have to go east. I would at least expect Chroma and Trails as well to clear out the overworld of the east first. Get the towns, get the find the palaces, verify where the Valley of Death is. Here's a desert tile. Before you commit to a palace, because it is a dried canyon, so you can get pretty much anywhere. There's a water tile sighted, and we've got a cave here, and okay, good. Chroma's found the Valley of Death here, which is important in dried canyons, because sometimes it's an issue you see sometimes where a runner just doesn't walk quite far over enough to the edge of the map to see the Valley of Death in a dried canyon, and then ends up spending ages looking for it later. Thunder and Nukasudo.
So all three mostly required spells are free and are going to be down for both runners here in the next couple of minutes, probably.
Yeah. Trail's just got a magic jar, I think. He has fairy spell now. Didn't catch what old lady is, but it is not 5 bars of magic.
Oh, it was 7.
Thank you. And we don't have a spell. We do now have thunder.
All right, yeah. There's always a chance that spell could block the glove. I think there needs to be like some sort of slogan or some sort of ism for that, because it feels like when it happens, the game is just kind of slapping you in the face a little bit. So we need to come up with something, community.
Yeah. Alright, and Darunia has fire in it. We really don't care a ton. We already have Reflect Thunder and Fairy. But yeah, Chroma's like, yeah, never mind.
Oh, he wanted upstab. He just didn't have the magic to cast it with Fairy. It's like 87 still.
That's not surprising here at Magic 1. Risen Peaback Cave, sorry, Brain. As Trails finds his cross.
The cross is still pretty vanilla looking. It's just got a few like auras off of it or something.
That makes sense. I mean, I've never played a Castlevania game, and my knowledge of them is completely atrocious. But I do know that crosses exist in that game, so it makes sense. Just use a Castlevania cross. 500 point P-back, not really the thing Chroma wants to see here, I'd imagine.
They're both fighting some of these Lizalfos blue ones, and Trails just happened to get an orange one pop in from the right side and got caught between them. We'll see if Chroma's... Oh, Chroma gets one at 500 experience. Okay, we're not going to be short on experience in this one at all. Everything seems to be worth a lot.
Yeah, we're 10 minutes in, it's already 3-3-3 for both for both runners, which is really nice. Ooh, death for Chroma.
He's feeling that one a little bit. He could have taken life 4 and he passed on it. I know Chroma likes to do the power leveling when he can. The fact that he's already got Magic 3 is a little bit more than what you might normally see. But again, he just checked for Fairy. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him go back and get upstab before too long. Because it's not the sort of thing you want to let linger. Or you might just forget about it.
Thunder for New Kasuto for Trails. He's going to get Thunder here. And life in Old Kasuto. Yeah, you might as well take it.
Yeah, I think these runners usually like to get life or shield, and just hope life's going to be good. I think people tend to prefer shield just because it's more reliable. Sometimes life is just a terrible, terrible spell.
Yeah, for sure. It can be anywhere between 1 and 4 bars, and well, random will rando you. Got a cave here. I don't think this is a pass-through, but I might be wrong. We'll see what this is for Chroma. We are missing Sunken P-Bag Cave, and we could be a Continental Connector. We do need to find Maze Island at some point.
Chroma's getting the same treatment that Trails did from that encounter. Yeah, he's down to 1 life. He might... He's thinking about it. I don't know. Is he gonna fight it? He might just run it out of the screen. All right, now he's 1 shot for a game over. Oh, and there's our life spell, which he still died. So, wasn't fast enough.
It's not a huge time loss. It's a Dried Canyon East, and getting back there from start is fairly quick, but that is a bit of an ouch. And I honestly can't say I fault him for deciding, you know what, I'm here, let's go check this 3 or 6 out.
Yeah, he's got attack 3, life 3, Barba. He doesn't have downstab, which does make Rebo a bit more of a pain. That would be my one hesitation about this. These guys aren't going to be crippled by it, and Chroma will fight Rebo straight up whenever he can anyway. But it's Barba, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yep, P6 confirmed here right next to start. Which does remind me, have we actually seen a second palace on the east? I know we saw GP at the southern end. I don't think we've seen the... Oh, not GP. We know we saw P2 at the southern end is quite a bright shade of pink. I don't think we saw a second palace.
Did you say the west or the east?
The east.
Yeah, I thought there was the other 3 or 6 at the start, and that was it. I don't remember the other palace, P2 at all.
I have marked on my notes P2 on the west, on the east, in the southern corner, in the southern end. I don't think we saw the other 3 or 6, but I might be wrong. I was on the race just before this, so Seed Blade is a thing, as Chroma is down on health here. That's a P bag for traiLZ.
Yeah, he got 500. Now he's getting another 500. It's just all sorts of experience, which with these two guys, they don't need it. I don't think either of them are, very likely to ditch gems, but they might. You might see it. Chroma almost never does, but traiLZ might do it if he gets high enough up there.
We'll see, yeah.
How much was life again? I don't see Chroma even looking at it. He might think it wasn't less than it was because he died, but I think he died because the hit points didn't tick up fast enough when he got hit.
Decides he doesn't feel like continuing in 6. I think that's fine. He came over. He can get back to the east very quickly here.
Yeah, now he's going to see the rest of the east that he hasn't quite peeked at yet, which we'll see. Yeah, he did the link feeded then again.
He hasn't checked this here, which he's going to find out is an absolute dead end. Which, yeah, we're missing 1 palace and 3 towns in the west, as well as, I believe, 3 item caves, which must all be down south, behind Boots and or the other side of Saria, so we're not getting that for a minute. Actually, speaking of the other side of Saria, I think that might be where Chroma's going.
Yeah, that was on my mind too, so this we might be thinking exactly what he's thinking.
Where's traiLZ, by the way? I did not catch where he is. That's a 1-up, though I can't confirm that. So that's a new chat.
Yeah, it's Sunken Cave. I didn't see exactly where it was, but he didn't have the same problems Chroma did. Now he's out, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go exactly where Chroma is going.
Yeah, Cobra commenting in chat looking for downstab potentially would make sense.
Yeah, as much experience as we've been talking about is floating around, this has been a particularly hard enemy set, it seems like, in some of these zones. Especially the overworld zones that both of them saw in the east were just taking lives left and right.
For sure, yeah. Alright, runner's pretty much tied up. Chroma just slightly ahead of traiLZ heading south. And straight into a cave.
Yep, that's Heart and Container Cave, so it's one of our 3 remaining ones, I believe. At least I think that's what you're tracking. I don't have anything written down.
Yeah, I know we saw a raft, a candle, and a magic jar on the northern side, and one of them was Stonehenge, which means we have now 2 item caves standing here on the south, because that's a hammer.
It is officially hammer time here on Zelda Speedruns. Hey, look, there's a hammer-blocked cave. That's nice. That's very convenient.
Very convenient indeed.
traiLZ also getting his own version of the hammer. I believe that's an axe. If you play Castlevania, you understand the reason for that.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it kind of looks more like a tomahawk, which I know is still an axe, but yeah.
And another P bag here is the thing they really wanted.
Is that the 3rd dead check now? I think we've seen 3 P bag drops, so.
2 P bags and a 1-up by my count.
Okay, yeah, then we would be out of dead checks. So that's kind of funny how many of those that we've already seen. Usually it's a little more spread out than that.
Currently the game just decided to throw the junk items first.
traiLZ made a really bad jump there. He realized it, and then he realized he knew that. But hey, look, we get a raft to maze, so we have all of our connectors.
Yep. Might as well go take a look, I suppose. You want both items. GP is not here. The only risk of looking for the palace in here is going to be getting glove locked down. The glove could be on here somewhere, so might as well. I mean, maybe look for Mito, I guess, as Cooper notes, but I can't get why Chrome decided to just go in. Unfortunately, this is a gross Maze Island layout.
Yeah, a bit of a long run up there, but I don't know. Maybe we'll find the boots in the maze too. It's one thing I always, whenever I do see the maze, I'm always like, I wish I had the boots, because it tends to make it a whole lot simpler.
Yeah, okay, jump here in Rudo in the southeast, with Mito right next to it. traiLZ doesn't even read the sign, it's either shield or spell.
Yeah, it's not something you really need to worry about right now. And oh man, the fact that Chroma got through that was pretty good. I didn't see how many bars he got from life, but I
Me
think he
neither.
cast it.
This is going to be a dead end up here unless the boots are not quite. Yeah, I think this is not quite dead end. Okay, I'm just blind. But cannot get to the palace from here. Sadly, you have to go a different, really long way around to get to the palace because this really is a gross Maze Island layout. Okay, if he goes around, down and around here, he's gonna get to the palace.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah, see, this is the advantage that Chroma brings. His vast anti-percent training in the Zelda 2 all keys. Well, not all keys, but in the vanilla speedrun, just being able to do those link feats through can save so much life and time if you can do them right. Even if you're not that proficient, just the fact that you're not taking those sorts of encounters can be huge.
Yep, and we do have a P5 here in the maze. And first heart and a heart container was the first item.
Oh, hey, our last transport cave. Where? Oh, he doesn't care. I'm just curious where it goes. Come on, Chroma, show us.
It's probably DM.
I hope it's to the west side of the west. Well,
that is DM, all right.
That's great. That is wonderful.
Alright, yeah, we're not doing that. Chroma's also not digging into V5 just yet without a glove, which I think makes sense. But that's kind of fun. Here's our other item in the maze. So this is the maze cleared out for Chroma aside from P5. And that is 2 heart containers. Alrighty, I guess. Well, sorry, I'm still laughing about that cave there. That was funny. That's a funny one. To just get dumped out on a lonely island with no way off without boots.
Absolutely, and you would almost want to just try this palace, except it's P5. If it was something else, bet you would. But P5 at this low, well, I don't know. He's got attack 4. That's a really funny Bagu location.
Yeah, great, thank you. So on the side of Saria Heart, Ferry or Boots locked. We don't know where Boots are, but it seems likely that you did have to get Ferry to go over here, because Boots are MIA.
So now Chroma's seeing the 2 towns over here that he didn't see before. There's still a little bit of a ways to go left, I think, or I should say west and west. I don't know. I don't like using west when you use west for the continent stuff. Okay, now he's going to pick up his down stab while traiLZ is still just making mincemeat of these Lizalfos.
Yeah. 3-4-4 for him, 4-3-4 for Chroma. Really, the question I think at this point is just where's our glove gone off to? We don't necessarily need boots. Although we are still missing 1 palace on the west, and we don't know where our last eastern palace is. We know one of our palaces on the east is in the Valley of Death. I don't particularly remember seeing the 3rd, but it also might just be me scatterbraiding something.
I don't either. It might be more like in the eastern, more southern eastern part, because they both kind of did a clockwise rotation on it, and they both noped out. Well, Chroma didn't see the sunken cave. I think he just died.
Yeah, he died.
But traiLZ saw it. So Chroma isn't actually missing anything by not seeing it, but he doesn't know that yet.
No, we know it was just a 1-up for traiLZ, though, who is in P5 as a side note. Chroma's going to explore more of the south side of the west, so he will find Rauru down here somewhere, and he should find the last palace.
Yeah, and since we saw Spell was in there, then Rauru has to be Shield, I believe. And our last palace, well, dang it. Come on, game. Don't hold back. It is P1.
Alright, going straight in, might as well.
immediate left in P1. Well, again, P1 is the sort of place that you almost always want the item anyway, so taking an immediate left doesn't feel too bad, and there it is.
And that is a trophy of dubious use.
Yeah, he might go ahead and grab jump on the way back. I don't know. It's pretty useful in GP.
Yeah, we'll see. Fairy is castable twice at Magic 3, it looks like, on 5 bars. Took out a little over 2 bars of magic.
Yeah, I think what traiLZ has right now is off of 2 fairy casts. So he is more than anybody, somebody who loves to use fairy. If the room is slightly annoying, he will just fairy it. He doesn't waste time with anything else.
Yep.
And also, he's just been door after door after door in here. But he's on Guma. Okay, let's see. traiLZ, big T-Dog here against Guma. Fight number 15,000. Who's going to win this one? We'll give the first one to Guma.
Guma runs round 1.
Well, the first one he wasn't in at full strength. He was just kind of winging it. Let's see if he can get this done. He the poster of many clips of him just roasting this guy.
Yeah. And Ryan in chat making a good observation that P5's item might be glove locked. Good catch. I didn't see that, but thank you. Which would be good info. I mean, we know and they know that about the one big thing they're both missing is a glove. So if it turns out the item's glove locked, Jules is just going to leave and never come back.
Yeah, that's not really a bad bit of information to get, and to not have to go back here. It isn't very easy to get here, I guess you could say. So this doesn't feel bad. Just clear this out and never get back to the maze.
Yeah. So from both runners' perspectives, they're really just missing that glove, and that's about all they're really in need of.
Did he cast life during that fight? I think he picked it up, and I don't remember. That would be I'd be surprised if he had missed that. Now he's going a little bit more conservative, maybe a lot conservative.
Chet says he did not cast life. Thank you.
Well, with players of this caliber, I think I've had 2 different situations where I've interviewed Chroma and asked him about something like that, and he said it's just a matter of pride, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like that.
Yeah. This P1 is... I was like, this P1's unusually long for a P1, and I'm not surprised that elevator looped, because I think we've seen about the maximum number of rooms that P1 can have at this point.
Oh gosh, yeah. It's also quite possible that life won't do anything, because that Guma took off. Let's see, 80 hit points is 5 bars, so that took about 77.
Yeah, something around that. That is a game over for traiLZ, so he just preempted it by upping. I'm not sure how Chrome... I haven't been paying quite closely enough attention to know how Chroma's been routing this one, but he did find that loopy elevator a second ago, and he's also just kind of getting a bit railroaded right now, but he has to have missed something, but this P1 is as big as P1 gets. Yeah.
And you get through that room with all the skull heads and all of that, different level of platforms, so you have to kind of measure where they're going to be. I'm
surprised he did not fall off there.
I think he is too. That was funny, and I think he's on his last life too. But now he's got a Horsehead, our former Horsehead % champion, our world record holder. That's held by J-Dubs now. He's actually put a whole lot of crazy work into that. But we still see Chroma practice it every once in a while, waiting for races.
And evidently there's still more paths left in P5, not surprising, because this place is normally giant. Because traiLZ is still in here and just took a death.
I think traiLZ might actually be trying to gain a level and maybe attack or something, because that Guma fight is rough. I mean, even a life level would be huge if it can cut it down to where the life spell will let him get 1 more hit, but only being able to take 2 hits is just so bad.
It is. Oh, thank you, Trump. Chroma's back to the east. He's gonna go clear this. Oh yeah, 3 or 6 is right here, and P2 is also here, so I just can't count palaces apparently. Yeah, so it's just a question of where's our glove at, and I think that's honestly it for anything.
traiLZ is key farming here, along with getting this experience, and I don't think he feels bad about this at all. These the keys were dropping pretty frequently. Maybe it was
Mostly
just
keys to a pop for experience is not an experience.
well, not having to cast, you know, I don't know. Is this big guy in the next room or something? That might be what he's doing.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But here's P3 for Chroma.
Okay, Chroma. Okay, good. I was gonna say, how many more times are we gonna try this? Okay, now, yeah, traiLZ's gonna cast Life immediately because he's coming in already down a hit. And we'll see. He did pick up attack 4. That's going to make this a little bit quicker, hopefully. The one of the last guys on there. Apparently, the cycles for the small enemies are key 500 experience, because that's what we saw.
Yeah. Ooh, and death for traiLZ.
There's not much to say. I can't really give a good play-by-play of this fight. It would just be a lot of, and he strikes, and he strikes, and he runs away, and he lures him back, and he strikes, and he strikes, and he strikes. You know, a little repetitive.
Yeah, I will spare us all from listening to me try that. Medicine in 3, which was hinted, that does give us reflect. Not reflect, that gets us... Is it spell in there?
Yeah, I think, did Chroma check that? I know traiLZ I don't think went in. So, oh yeah, life does not quite do it. He's still one shot at this hit point. So here we go.
Chroma's personal tracker, which we can see as a commentator, shows he has spell marked in Mito, so that's why he got the medicine, is just in case the glove is there. And oh hey, here's Rebo, so fairly quick 3, not too bad for Chroma. That's going to be his second
traiLZ
gem,
gets it
and
down.
Very nice.
That was so close too, because if he needed one more hit, traiLZ was dead meat. He was just about to throw the maze.
Yeah.
But again, he's probably fought these things. I don't know how many times he knows what's going on. Yeah, again, like you said, Chroma gets the level down, and we're gonna see him. Yeah, he's definitely focusing on attack. Again, this is his general strategy. traiLZ, meanwhile, going back into 5. Gonna look for that item.
He doesn't want to come back here, which is understandable given how much of a hike it was to get to here. Chroma's gonna go turn in that spell for, or not yet. He's gonna go clear P2 here, which also makes sense. He's gonna clear 2. See if he can't get a vanilla glove out of here, but he has that medicine now in reserve. For whenever he goes back to the west.
I think a lot of this right now is just push palaces and see if the glove presents itself along the way.
I mean, it may as well, because both runners at this point have seen the overworld, and they know there's really nothing left besides a glove. So you might as well clear palaces, unless they're glove locked. That's that in for traiLZ.
And he's back in again. If this pays off for traiLZ, it's a worthwhile dive. But he has been in P5 for quite a while, so I think in that meantime, Chroma has cleared 2 palaces, and P1 itself was kind of long.
Chroma saw every room in P1 and then at least one siege, if not multiple times. Yeah. Also, this P2's color palette is atrocious.
But we get the item room for Chroma, so what do we have? Drum roll, please.
We have ourselves a magic jar. Okay, well, that might be useful for the Granny's basement.
Yeah, I mean, you never sad about magic jars, so there you go. traiLZ did eventually nope out. He's going to check this bottom corner and get rewarded with one more heart container, something that would have mattered a lot, actually. Or did he not get it? Okay, there it is. Yeah, it was left. This heart container actually would have given him another hit on Guma, but is that something you were expecting to find? I don't know.
Part of my problem with this P2's color palette is the background color is also terrible. It's just a lot on the eyes.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've ever been a fan of pink and black together. I don't know.
I like it if it's mostly black with some pink, but this is a lot of pink and not much black. It's also a really bright shade of pink, too. Its palette shuffle is fun.
All right, traiLZ is finally getting through the rest of the West here. You just see the town goes a little bit harder to the palace. I'm almost certain he's going to just push through P1 here.
I don't know why he wouldn't, honestly, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably one of the more aggressive P1 runners, and I'm not even as capable as these guys. If you got like a key, just go. Just do it. If you got one key, if you know the keys are in the small drop pool, you got, even if you didn't have fairy, I'd still do it.
Yeah, it's the smallest of the palaces. It's only about 10 or so rooms, I think, on average. It's usually a pretty quick dig.
Yeah, and something about the early game that I have observed, at least, I don't know how other people feel about this, but enemies in palaces are often easier to kill than enemies in the east. It depends, again, if you get like a blue IK, that's really rough. But if I have the choice between going to the east or just diving a palace, I'm probably just going to dive the palace until at least, attack 4, usually pretty comfortable.
Yeah, it kind of depends, especially like today the east was a dried canyon, which is super easy to get around. But if you've got like a mountainous east or something, then maybe not so much for digging the east. Yeah, glove block in 2 for Chroma, which is concerning because that might be blocking our helmet head today.
traiLZ just roasted P1, went the exact right direction. We'll see. If he goes back in this way, that's going to be bad news for him. If he does come back in and just takes a left, then he'll see the item immediately. That's the one thing about this that doesn't necessarily make this really good. Yeah, he's going to go back in, so he's going to probably wind up seeing everything Chroma did.
Yeah, another glove block for Chroma, which is concerning.
Oh man, that was didn't feel like that one was going to happen, but oh gosh, he saved it. traiLZ saved it. This stupid triple dripper room with these. I call it stupid. I hate it. I'm really bad about judging those distances and screwing if any enemy appears. I'm in the lava. So good on traiLZ to recover.
Yeah, for sure. That's a tricky room.
He didn't get the lucky knockback onto a platform like Chroma did before, though. That was pretty funny. Hey, the 2 drippers on the crumble bridge, you can pause and kind of time yourself on those things. Or you can just do what I do and never slow down for a second, because that tends to almost always work anyway.
Yeah, still looking for helmet head for Chroma here. P2 can be quite the long palace. It's usually like one of the more mid-sized palaces, and it's being a slog.
Was this never-ending? Yeah, I think it is. So, well,
traiLZ
will find his
traiLZ, yeah.
Yeah, the never-ending elevator. That's I think some people suggested that's what hell is like.
Yeah, that would be kind of miserable to be stuck in, like, if it's a real life, like a small elevator, like a tiny metal box, to be stuck in it for forever would suck, because here's helmet head, finally. 2 bars of health. Blink and you miss it, we're done.
Well, GG to Chroma, first to 3 gems placed. did eventually get to Helmet Head and pretty much roasted him. Did we see the item in P2? I seem to think we didn't.
We got it. It was a magic jar. Chroma found it several
Right.
minutes ago.
Yeah, it was in that that fun elevator and entrance all the way to the right side of the map, and then you just go up the stairway. So he's going into VOD. He's VODing it today, which I think is P4, right?
It is P4, and I have no clue what Trails just got out of Pillar P Bag Cave. Shanna says he also apparently got a trophy. Glove for Trails in Pillar P Bag Cave. Okay. They're in the far south. By P1, which Chroma skipped. Chroma beat P1 and left. He did not check that cave. Uh-oh.
Yeah, just hopefully that's something that doesn't elude him, because it's felt like Chroma was in a bit of a lead here, but that lead will disappear super fast if that's the case. Especially Trails now here in 6, and this was really rough for Chroma earlier. I don't think Trails can have the same problems, and if there's any glove blocks, not for him anymore.
Mm-hmm. Nice link feet for Chroma. And here's P4, which is a nice shade of blue.
Yeah, I did just double check Chroma's item screen. I did not see the glove, so I guess he did not. I don't think the glove is any bit different with the fighter sprites. I think it's basically just the canoe that's different. I mean the raft, which is a canoe. Yeah.
Yeah. Trails definitely has the glove, and the glove may prove to be a bit of an interesting one for Trails, because he's going to go different routes than Chroma did, which may be a bonus, may be a con. In the case of P6, we'll find out, because we didn't really see this from Chroma earlier.
But it's definitely good news for him. He's not going to have to search for any items. I mean,
no.
I guess he might still want to get maybe like one more magic jar would be nice, but I think somebody at his level, he's just going to shrug and just keep going.
Yeah. GP doesn't always have glove blocks, but it does usually have glove blocks. It's very, very common, especially in these flags with T-Bird required. I believe Trails found the glove in Pillar P Bag Cave right after beating P1. I think they were right next to each other.
Yeah, I can only remember like one time in my memory where I've seen somebody win a seed without the glove, and that was like Zarnax a couple of years ago. Just never got it and happened to get through GP without needing it. It's the most common place where it's required, though, just because in the vanilla game the amount of screens that have glove locks is insane.
Yeah, and there's 3 different variants of what we colloquially call the waffle rooms in the community, with the arrangements of glove blocks. Those you're almost guaranteed to find at least one variant of a waffle room blocking the way to T-Bird or Dark Link in GP.
And speaking of gloves, Chroma just ran into a glove block. So I'm just going to keep that in mind. This is not the sort of place you want to have to come back to.
No, he got through the valley pretty quickly, but it is still a trip back. As Trails has found at Barba.
There we go. Little red dragon and his fruit punch. This is another place where jump is pretty useful, but if you can do those sideways double hits, it lessens quite a bit. Once you're capable of doing that, it's one of those things I wonder if it's even possible on emulator to realistically do. Like I know Trails, I think, does play on emulator, so it must be. But he said something before about having a particular setup that helps a lot with reaction times.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what it is.
I think Chroma just got looped here in P4. Yeah. And I believe that is Chroma concluding he is glove blocked out of here. So I think he's going to go check for Sunken P-Bag Cave, find out that's not it. That was just a one-up. And
Yeah,
then
then-
Chroma's going to have a choice between P5 and P6, or go back to the west. And he's actually just going to walk up A, which I think makes sense. It's a bit of a trip out of the Valley of Death, so up A is fine.
I'm trying to remember if no, traiLZ didn't see the item in 6, but I don't think Barbara. No, I think Barbara was glove blocked, wasn't she?
I don't remember, I'll be honest.
And all I remember is that traiLZ did a glove block path pretty early, so it might not have been exactly what I'm thinking, but
I don't know either, I'll be honest. We are into 3 for traiLZ. Gilbert in chat says he thinks glove block is more likely than not in 6. Yeah.
if that's the case, then we might just be watching the C kind of get away from Chroma. Just again, going into P1 and not really searching that area around there is hurting him quite a bit. If he had that glove, he would be probably 4 gems down right now, and I mean he'd be a little bit behind because he'd have to fight Karok. But yeah, the amount of stuff he saw in P4, I think he was all but done with it.
Yeah. And yeah, that's one glove block. I remember seeing that room.
Yeah, I can't remember for sure, but I think that block that he saw, you can get to it from a different direction through the bottom elevator, but I'm pretty sure traiLZ eventually went left there and kept going.
Mm.
That or traiLZ did come from the right, went down, and then went back up and went left. That's also a possibility, and I just didn't see it. All right, traiLZ now on his own Rebo fight. He takes the aggressive early stance and comes right at him, and a lot of hits there. He's still at attack 4. traiLZ is somebody who's not afraid to go at lower attack levels, and it's going to take a few more hits, but once he gets in the position, he's going to start roasting this guy. Finishes him off in the corner with the sword stuck out in a funny position. That was a very pained look on Chroma's face. That was I don't know. This isn't the easiest room to get through, but that hurt a little bit. Oh no, there we go. He found, I think he found the dragon here a completely different way. So he's going to be able to clear P6. It's just going to be a matter of if he tries to keep going to find the item. It's possible he already found blocks every other direction though. But attack level 6, he's going to be getting through this pretty smooth, I think.
Yeah, this should not be an issue. There we go.
There we go. That's the 4th gem for Chroma now too. So he's still got to get that glove, but he's not too far behind, especially if traiLZ gets stuck here a little bit in P2, the same way that Chroma did. And it looks like Chroma is going in that direction. We'll just see if that's what he is actually intending to do, or if he does something like go to Maze instead.
Mm-hmm.
which he could clear P5. Trails did, so that's not necessarily necessary. The glove there. It seems like the only palace is glove blocked is P4, and yeah, no, he's going to the maze. No, he has to go through here. There's no other thing to do.
Nope, he has to go through here. The question is where he goes after that. We know that he's just missing that one item cave on the west. Shows finding a magic shadow 2. The question is, does Chroma go find it? Because he does have other things to do. He could go to P5. As DM, well, he does want to dig with DM without boots at least, which was a saving grace. But let's see. I don't know if he ever turned in the medicine for his spell, but Mito's not very close to. Mito isn't exactly close to his glove, so that doesn't help anyway.
It does seem like he's going in the direction of the maze, so it's not going to be. Actually, no. Is he going to get spell?
Heading to Mito. Yeah, he's getting spell. He's gonna get jump and spell, I think.
Again, jump has some possible utility in GP. It can be really nice. He's going to check for some hints. Usually aren't checking for hints at about the 50-minute mark. This, a little bit of kind of biting the lip here, like, come on, where is this glove at? Meanwhile, Trails did get the item out of P6, or excuse me, P2. He is pretty deep in the palace now, but Chroma was in here for a while. I actually have no idea where Helmet Head is vis-a-vis anything in here.
Me neither. I know Chroma, I think, probably flew clear the place, but yeah, no idea where Helmet Head is. It wasn't glove block. That's it.
All right, what do we think is going to be in Spell Tower for Chroma to find and be disappointed with?
Last heart container would be a bit of a bleh. Flute would be bad, yeah. Personally, I'd want him to, not boots is what I want for him, because getting the boots would send him down a rabbit hole of DM. It would probably be fairly quick at least, because it is islands, but it would still be a rabbit hole.
The any key could be an interesting one, although it's a little bit late for that. You would be hoping entirely for GP to be one of those GPs. So that's about all I got. We see Trails going a different way than Chroma, because we've seen Chroma was in this room, but it was from the left side and he noped out. So yeah. I guess that's, I don't know. He might have been on the eastern side, and it was a dead end, so I was completely wrong. There was no way that was the case.
Yeah, Chroma's heading west here. Let's see where he's going. P1 and his glove are on the southern shore, kind of along the middle, and kind of in the middle of the southern shore. Which is a little annoying too, in that it's kind of at the edge of the map, so you have to purposely go that way to find it.
All right, he finds the graveyard item. He's looking. Is he gonna see it? Oh, there's a cave. Wonder what that cave is.
I believe that's the one he needs. Yep, this is it.
All right, and again, Trail's still in P2, so it's going to be a matter of how quickly can Chroma get through these last palaces, because P5 was long, but I seem to think it was made a little bit longer by the item hunt. I'm surprised. Well, no, Chroma must be thinking about going to the maze if he's not doing the immediate up A, because it's heck of a walk back through here.
Yeah.
And I guess we can confirm that DM is useless. We didn't really talk about it, but DM was one of those every second you spent there was a second that you're going to regret for the rest of your life sort of situations.
Yeah, boots never showed up. Neither runner was going to dig an island's DM without them. Chroma took a brief look in there and did not find anything immediately nice, and yeah, it's like, yeah, no thanks. Because, what are we missing? We're missing boots, flute, any key, child. Nobody got the hint for that. We're missing a magic jar or two. We're missing a heart container or two. Yeah, they don't really care what's in DM.
All right, traiLZ has made it to Helmet Head. Start the timer, and the timer is done.
Yeah, Helmet Head was a pushover.
I think sometimes about the 6 different bosses and who is just generally speaking the easiest and the most difficult. And I think Helmet Head is actually easier than Horse Head most of the time. I'd actually put Barba on the easier side too, because as long as you don't get impatient, Barba is just a matter of just a couple swings here and there, and just don't jump in the fire and don't jump into Barba.
Yep.
Right,
traiLZ heading to Valley of Death now. We'll see how P4 goes for him. Chroma was near for a bit, find a couple different glove blocks, and it was like, yeah, okay. And then had to get out because he didn't have a glove.
Yeah, he'll have the knowledge about generally where to go, so he should be able to get through it a little bit faster than traiLZ. Maybe? I don't know how many bad paths there were, because I think the blocks were fairly deep.
Yeah, I don't remember either. Chroma did just up a...
Yeah, I can't say that I recall anything about P5 really, but just that traiLZ had some fun with Guma in there. Shouldn't be nearly the problem for Chroma. Again, attack 6 is a luxury when it comes to fighting Guma.
Yeah.
And went back for the bag. I guess it's 500 experience, and you have Guma, who is a high experience enemy. So you might be able to either double level or skip to... I don't know. I can't imagine attack 7's on the menu, even though I know Chroma really likes that. See traiLZ noping out of the elevator, deciding to just go east. I just wonder about those sorts of decisions, because I don't feel like I necessarily do them very well. So I watch these guys and I just think, why did they decide that? Was it just a whim? Is it just because it's a quicker way to see another path?
It does vary, but I think I am also not a top runner, so can't comment too much on that. There's one of the glove blocks for traiLZ.
Yeah, that was the one that I'd somehow mentally imprinted onto P4, or excuse me, P2 for Chroma. So this is a completely unique path now that we haven't seen.
And here's Guma for Chroma, so that actually wasn't too bad for P5, I think. And Guma is also a pushover at attack 6.
That was pretty smart fighting too. Wasn't trying to go all out or do anything crazy. And well, hey, look, the item in P4 is a heart container. Will traiLZ get it? He will. I thought there was a slim chance he might skip it, but it's hard to skip something like that that's just there, right?
Yeah. Pretty quick to go through that room and just pick it up.
All right, yeah, he did reset the room, didn't want to ferry it or anything. I've tried like saving blocks it doesn't really work too well. The path back just never seems to work out right, and you can't in a bigger palace like P4, you can't just guarantee that you're going to get the direct drop into the same room, which seems to happen a lot in that room.
Yeah, that room loves to drop into itself. Chroma is going for upstab, I think. Yep.
Yeah, he got jump, he got upstab. These are two things that could be important going into GP. I mean, Trails knows how to get through the upstab block room, but it's still a lot faster to not do it. If you get two of those, I think upstab at least makes up the time, if not saves overall.
Yeah, and of course, there's always the chance the game throws the S-shaped curve room at you that specifically is designed to prevent the upstab skip. Trails does not have upstab, I believe.
Yeah, I can't recall for sure, but I don't think he went in and got it. He did have fairy at the time, and it was actually, you know what? No, I think he did. He did actually get upstab because it was castable for him when he got in there.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, actually, never mind.
It was a while ago.
It was. Here's Karak for him.
All right, he is, I would say this is about a 75% stance. He's moving in a little bit. Okay, kind of rushed in there at the end. It's always interesting just to see how everyone does harder Karak differently, because I don't think there's been a firm meta established on that one yet. Except, don't stand directly in the middle. That's still dumb.
Yeah. And Trails confirming that Trails... Cooper confirming in chat that Trails does have upstab, thank you. So Trails finishing off P4 as Chroma gets back in, essentially here at the hour mark.
All right, Chroma gets every time they run into that room. And there we go, Chroma in P4. He is basically the whole of P4 behind. He should have a pretty good idea of where to go. But I don't know. He's got to feel, with that glove spot, he's got to feel like he's running low. So what might come down to where stuff is here in GP is Trails enters at the 1 hour and 25 second mark.
Yep.
Or I think we technically call that 60-25, right? Isn't that the Zelda 2 lingo? We always use minutes until we hit 100.
I tend to use hours myself, just out of habit, but that's because I'm also used to longer games. OTR being my primary game, Z2R secondary or tertiary, depending on things. Also rather active in the LTTPR. Yes, this is the Alucard sprite for Trails. The Castlevania series. Chad said it might have been CB2, I honestly don't know.
Yeah, he did that fun little trick there where just pop one block open and then fairy through it. Don't deal with the red Faka down below.
Yeah. Oh, and Irene of Hunnesser, the creator of the sprite in chat, Trail sees T-Bird and goes back down. He needs to get his magic back for Thunder. Yeah, Alucard's sword, because apparently this is a regular card sprite too that punches. Thanks for the clarification. There's the heart container for Chroma and 4.
Yeah, Thunder was just a little over 4 bars, so I don't think that leaves him enough for another fairy cast. Having to die coming in here. That's the one worry about T-Bird, is it can make you pretty weak afterward. This was a reasonably quick attempt. I don't think we'll see Trails do anything like an up A just yet, but I would say if it were a little bit closer, he might.
Yeah, and hey, Talon raiding the party of 4. Welcome in, Raiders. GG, Talon. I know you're racing just now. No spoilers, but GG, son, however that went.
Immediate Dark Link. All right, so this is one of those prepare to get out your GG situations, as GP was extraordinarily free, I think.
Pretty much, yeah. Trails was held right for a bit, went up an elevator around T-Bird, and that was it. Okay.
Wait for the last hit. He's doing the jumps appropriate there, but still managed to get got. And there we go. Official time of 1:03:21. traiLZ is the Swiss champion. 5-0 will be the top seed going into the brackets. He wins the qualifier round, but you still feel really good about it. All the really good players he had to beat to get here.
Absolutely. And we'll get him in for an interview shortly. Chroma has found a Karok on his side. Won't be surprised if Chroma finishes out. Not sure if he's reading the race time room, but we also know GP's really quick.
Yeah, I would imagine he's just going to clear it because GP is close by, and it's one of those things that you just kind of go until the game tells you not to. And I don't think the game is going to tell him no unless he decides to pull a random left or something, which I don't even know if that existed.
Well, yeah, because I know there was an up and a right, and then the up was T-Bird, so... Alright, we are joined by traiLZ here for an interview. GG, traiLZ. If you're trying to say something, we can't hear you.
Yeah, feel free to interrupt us whenever things get going. But we see Chroma entering now at 64:45, stroking the beard a little bit. And again, if he goes the same ways that Chroma did, he did not. He's going left.
Yeah. Okay, so that was this first left right at start. There we are. Hey, traiLZ, GG.
Hey, what's up? Thank you. Yeah, I figured that, like, I could have sworn after I took the game over to Guma that I was done for. And, like, yet again, I mean, I go on tilt and then I just start jumping over everything and running straight to the balls. Like, Palace 6 was awful. And somehow I managed to just route it holding left. But, after taking the game over to Guma, I was like, man... What a first pallet, and like that's the thing, like where that was, you don't want to have to go back there. That was such a far walk to get all the way over to Maze Island, so it's like, you know, kind of like F, you know, or heck, rather. Because like I didn't want to have to walk all the way back to Maze Island to try to do P5 again. So I was forced to do like an attack 3 Guma. But anyway. After that, I felt really far behind. It was my first gem. It was a 30-minute mark, and then like after that, and then as soon as I found that the glove was like so free right in P-Bag Cave, I was like, man.
Yeah, man, that was the big one. As Chroma actually just found that maybe 12 minutes ago. He was diving palaces looking for that, and he even cleared P1 up an 8 and left, and just didn't see that cave. So.
Yeah.
That's happened to me in the past. If he found that glove, it would have...
P1, thankfully, but he got glove block out of 4, and he was ahead of you on gem placement for a bit, but not getting the glove kind of sent him down a bit of a rabbit hole.
I guarantee you, if he found the glove, this would be a completely different outcome. 100%. He
also took the first left in GP right now, which apparently leads to the entire rest of the palace, because you had a very fast GP.
Yeah, I mean, I try to go safe. I try to be safe. And then, you know, if I go right and I don't see T-Bird, then I start making lefts, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And this time it really worked out for me. I could not believe it when Dark Link was right behind him, and I'm like, how is Chroma not finished right now? It makes sense.
Chroma did apparently loop around one way or another too. I thought these rooms looked familiar to the route to T-Bird, because
he up an 8. He up an 8. He had a dead end.
Yeah, left was actually pretty short, but I think if for some reason you didn't check this elevator and went right, that was probably your big red herring path.
Oh, okay, then my sense of direction just is terrible. Never mind. Ignore me. Very quick T-Bird fight though. 667, pretty easy there.
Yeah, then Dark Link's right behind.
Yeah.
Man, that Death to Guma really, like, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to DNF right then and there. That game over, but that happened the first race I had.
Yeah, I was hyping you up. I said this was like traiLZ versus Guma match like 4,000, and Yeah, I think Guma took a couple off of you in this one.
Yeah, I got hitboxed a few times.
Yeah, I mean, you have the guts to actually go in there at attack 3. I think Chroma was in the same situation. He got to the maze a little bit before you, and he just noped out. It might have helped if you had gotten that heart first, but that other heart would have given you probably an extra hit with life, I think. But
Yeah, the thing was like I completely forgot I had the life spell, and then when I restarted P5, I was like, dang.
yeah, well, I mean, you did persevere. You got through. I think there was one or two palaces that you just burned through compared to Chroma. Like P1, for whatever reason, seemed to hold him back quite a bit, and you kind of scored through that one. And again, he went into P6 for a while and struggled in it at really low level, and then P4 was glove blocked. So, and maybe P2 I also felt like you got through that one a little bit faster too. So, I think there
P2,
were
P2 and P6 are really long.
Yeah, and and also we're with Chroma now. GG.
Hey, thanks. Potential to be a really fast seed as usual. But I'm glad that at least the glove wasn't like in a super obvious place, because I was afraid that little bit at the beginning, where you could get to the east super easy and get fairy. I thought like clearly the play was take out all the palaces here, but the glove played a bigger role than I expected, and then I just had a lot of trouble finding it.
Man,
So it goes.
if P4 wasn't glove blocked, I think you win basically because I took a game over to Guma. I had some good luck with palace routing, but other than that, like I didn't place my first gem until like the 30-minute mark, and I was like really behind. But I got really fortunate. Yeah, Palace 5 was my first Palace. I did it at attack 3, and then I found P1 after that, and then I found the glove immediately after that. And I was on tilt after that. I was like, man, Chroma's definitely going to dust me. There's free glove and right next to P1, and I didn't think any Palaces were glove blocked, but evidently P4 was.
Yeah, I think if I grabbed that glove also, it would have been pretty close. But
I think you would have got me.
Running into the block definitely sealed the deal there.
100% you would have got me.
Yeah,
I got
part of
lucky.
the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I mean, like, we make mistakes. We both do. Like, I don't know how many races or how many seeds of the week is like lol 100% full cleared.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. We
and
always go back and forth too. Like if we ever race one-on-one, it's always like a coin flip on who wins.
yeah, for sure. I feel that way with Mirai too. I don't think the record actually validates that. I think he's actually beat me more times.
Well,
But
Mariah's really, really, really good.
is really solid, and traiLZ is OG solid. One of the greats for sure. And I don't know, cool that we got to race each other here. Kind of low stakes, just bragging rights, if nothing else.
Yeah.
And maybe we see each other later in the tournament. Maybe we don't. We'll see. I think chances are good.
Yeah, probably. That was potential early look at the grand finals.
I'd love for that to be the reality of it. A lot of tough competition in the meantime, but
Oh yeah, there's this tournament's stacked. We got Godwin and Mirai and Tiverius and a handful of weren't there like 42
Level and
people?
Animus and
Yeah.
there's so
We've
many.
we had a pretty big turnout this year. Yeah, I don't think it's 42, but we had I think 34 entrants.
Okay. Yeah, it's a whole lot.
Yeah, 17 entrants. 17. It's 17 matchups to 34 entrants.
Ah, okay. And we got a lot of new blood too, which is always really awesome to see. It makes the community grow a lot more. And there's even people in the Symphony of the Night randomizer community that are like, "Oh, Zelda 2," and picking it up. So
You
hopefully we get.
recruiting over there? Is that what's going on?
I'm trying, man. I got Dinner Dog messing around with it, and also Doozy Dude potentially, or Doozy Zood. I don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, there's a few guys over there that they're a bit interested.
Yeah, you were trying to pull me into Symphony of the Night a little bit. I only have time for one game, I'm afraid.
Yeah, Symphony of the Night renders can be kind of painful too, and the guys that are really good at that game, they smoke a seed in 30, 45 minutes, and I'm over here 90 minutes later, 90 minutes in, scratching my head,
Yeah, that
trying to
sounds
figure
bad.
out. Yeah, it's awesome though. It's a lot of fun. Really awesome soundtrack too.
Any standouts that weren't obvious to the two of us for how the seed went?
Not really. I mean, it was fairly straightforward. Vanilla like West, railroading you a little bit. Dried Canyon East being a Dried Canyon East. Never saw DM. Whatever. Neither of you really touched DM. No, the cave on Maze Island to DM was kind of funny.
Yeah, I liked that one. I did poke my head in one of the first caves there in the
Broke
very
on the first
beginning,
couple caves, yeah, and that was
but
about it.
yeah, I'm really glad Glove didn't end up being there, but I'm also really mad Glove ended up being where it was because it was free and
Yeah,
super late for me. But that's how it goes. That's why we do best of three, right? In the main part of the tournament.
Yeah.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I would say my one insight was that traiLZ was fighting some of the overworld encounters and just had an experience late early on, and that helped a couple of times. Like I think you took a game over in the East Chroma at some
Yeah, I
point
sure did.
early in traiLZ. Like when he got to Upstab Town, he had enough magic to cast fair or to fairy at that point. So there's some small
Yeah,
things that
yeah,
actually tilted in his direction early, but then again, P5 kind of tilted it the other direction for a while.
Yeah, I spent like, gosh, what, 10 minutes at least, probably, maybe even more than that.
yeah. The death was the only thing I was really frustrated with, especially because the reason the death happened is because my doubles weren't dialed in. Just thumbs feel slow sometimes, and they don't connect the way you want them to. Um, but that's very clearly my mistake. When it's execution based, then I get upset. If it's I took the wrong path when it's a 50-50 path, then you can't be upset at that stuff. But like apart from that death, I'm not too upset with how it went overall. You know, um, always can be better, but that death bothered me. Not being able to cast fairy when I did get in there. You think you're going to save time by dodging all the encounters, and sometimes that really isn't the case. You need that early experience.
Yeah, especially if you're relying on fairy for getting through doors and stuff.
Yeah. I don't have the algorithm dialed in quite yet for how this game works, like what the best percentage odds are for how you approach strategy in each situation or whatever. But yeah, I'm starting to rethink the avoid everything at all costs, like in the overworld, like early game at least. Once you have some levels and you're not trying to fight every single enemy, then it makes a little more sense.
Well, you have to get like with traiLZ. I think what helped him was that those orange diras were 100 a pop, right? So you were able to get a couple of levels in pretty quick. And I know Chroma, you were on the Palace 50/50. Those red IKs were 150, but you didn't really sit on it. Which
No. Well, I
um,
kept on getting jars, so why would I?
I know. I always think about what React said about the times when you could get a jar, and I would go completely out of my way to not do that to try to get the guy to appear. And I don't know. I don't have any idea.
Yeah, I think I've gotten a little too good at getting the jar. For a little while, I felt like I had the timing to get the red IK most of the time, but I don't know. Somebody who actually does game science for this would have a better view of that. I just poach their research and play the game. Sorry, y'all. I could be doing more to contribute more to the community. I'm just not. I'm sorry.
Hey, you're contributing that beard right now.
Yeah, Beard's awesome.
It is.
Yeah, we said in the race room, it's a request from my daughter that I grew a Gandalf beard, and it's in line with the direction my character's going. I feel like, so we're gonna embrace it. I don't expect it to get any shorter anytime soon.
It's looking good, man. Looking good.
Thanks. And Trails has hair.
Yeah, actually, I have hair now.
You
Looking
do.
good, man.
Thanks, man.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it for the evening and enjoy the family and rest up.
Sounds good. GG's, man. And was there anything that he did that I didn't, or is there anything that I did that he didn't?
I think Chroma got spell and jump because he
Yeah.
got the trophy and the medicine while he was looking for the glove. So there was probably a little over a minute there that might have swung in that direction too.
Yeah, I got the trophy, but I never turned it in, and I knew where the medicine was, but at that point I had already got the gloves, so there was no real point. But thank you guys so much for the restream and putting on the tournament, and thank you for the commentary, you two. And who's tracking? Gabon? Is it Gobon?
Chromataclysm was tracking tonight.
Oh, Tomotac. All right, well, thank you for the tracking, and thank you guys for putting in all the work and stuff. You guys are appreciated by me, and I'll catch you guys on the next race.
Yeah, GG's Trails. Have a good night.
All right, you too. Later.
All
Any
right.
last thoughts from you? Aaron?
No, great race. About what you'd expect out of two people this caliber. It wasn't perfect, but they both had to have a certain level of resilience to come back. And, Trails got the edge on this one, but it could have went either way.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining me on comms tonight.
My pleasure.
So with that, that's going to be it here for us tonight. There is one more race going on currently that's not being restreamed, which is there's a couple of races. We've got Vexrider versus Animus United, and there's also Tabby Orange versus forget who they're racing actually versus Vaughn. So those will be re-restreamed at a later date, probably on Mariah's channel. We also have more races coming up here on the ZSR schedule. Let me see. Please give both of our runners a follow first, traiLZ and Chromataclysm. Thank you to Aaron for commentating with me. And thanks to Tomotac for doing the tracking. For the ZSR schedule, we've got more matches coming up tomorrow and throughout the weekend. We have Grand Finals Game 2 on tomorrow. It's 5 p.m. Eastern for the Windmaker Randomizer Season 7 tournament between Rick Schmitty and KitKat. We've also got a link to the past Randomizer Challenge Cup quarterfinals match and a Z2R match between Mariah and Homewrecker at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then more stuff coming up throughout the weekend, including more Z2R matches here. Keep an eye out for all that. Challenge decided's to be decided, especially because this weekend's a bit nuts as usual for ZSR. But for right now, that's going to be it here for us tonight. We're going to go over and raid Crocus74, who's doing some Zelda 200% all keys runs. Yeah, that's going for him. But for now, thank you for watching, everyone, and have a good night.